Around the close of World War I, Nella Larsen moved to New York City, alone. Trained as a nurse, she worked briefly for a hospital in the city before marrying the physicist Elmer Imes in 1919. The following year, Larsen published her first works, children's stories, for the Brownies Book, a magazine published by the NAACP for young people. Around 1922, she began working as a librarian at the New York Public Library in Harlem, and began to publish short stories under the pen name Alan Semi. In interviews, she claimed her biggest literary influence was Edna St. Vincent Millay, though today she is more closely identified with the icons of the Harlem Renaissance, Carl Van Vechten, Jean Toomer, Countee Cullen, and Langston Hughes. Through her connection with Carl Van Vechten, Larsen published her first novels under her own name with Knopf. In 1928, they released Quicksand, the story of Helga Crane, a fictional character loosely modeled on Larsen. Helga is the daughter of a Danish mother and a West Indian father who abandons her and her mother soon after Helga is born. Helga lives in various places in America and Denmark, in search of people among whom she can feel at home. It is the story of a restless young woman in search of love and her own sense of identity. The following year they published her second novel, Passing. Irene Redfield, the novel's protagonist, is a woman with a seemingly perfect life. She has a husband who is a prominent physician, 2 boys, and a beautiful townhouse in Harlem. Then she encounters Claire Kendry, a girlhood friend whom she hadn't seen in years. Claire has been passing for white, hiding her true identity from everyone, including her racist husband. Claire begins inserting herself into Irene's life and pulling apart Irene's perfect world. In 1930, Larsen is accused of plagiary for several passages in her short story, Sanctuary. In spite of the controversy, she won a Guggenheim Fellowship in the same year. Her husband, Elmer Imes, accepted a position as head of the physics department at Fisk University, and Larsen traveled to Spain, France, and North Africa while working on her third novel, Mirage. She later returned to Tennessee to join Imes at Fisk. Larsen and Imes went through a tumultuous and public divorce. Many contend her divorce and the charges of plagiarism were the cause of Larsen's retreat from the literary scene. Around 1932, she began to sever ties with old friends and never published again. Eventually, she returned to nursing and died in obscurity alone in her Brooklyn apartment in 1964. Her novels Quicksand and Passing have been rediscovered by subsequent generations and have become seminal works in the literature of the Harlem Renaissance.